Stephanopoulos doing some damage control, telling TMZ, quote, earlier today, I responded to a question from a passerby. I shouldn't have. And an ABC spokesperson saying George expressed his own point of view and not the position of ABC News.
Joe Concha is a Fox News contributor, and he joins us now. Joe, George says that he shouldn't have said what he said, but you can't take it back now. What do you think about this comment from the guy who did the interview, who was an ally in the media of the president's?
Wow, Carly. Well, first, I'm not sure why ABC News' chief anchor, who isn't supposed to be in the opinion business, is giving an opinion to basically a random person with a camera on the street from TMZ. But he did, and his perspective here isn't exactly shocking because most Americans do not believe this president can serve effectively for the next 4 months to Election Day, let alone the next 4.5 years. And here's the biggest problem for the Biden campaign right now. They can't run a standard campaign. They can't make the case around what they're going to do for the country in a second term or defend their record in the first, because we're not just talking about Biden's mental health now at this point, but his physical health. I mean, Dr. Ron Pitts, who's widely respected, he told NBC News yesterday he believes Biden has Parkinson's disease. Now, that's his opinion, but he is an expert in these things. And we know that a Parkinson's doctor has visited the White House on several occasions, according to those visitor logs. And we're only learning about all this now, by the way. So the cover up around the president's overall health appears to be massive. And this story will blot out everything else the campaign wants to talk about for the next 115 days or so until Election Day, Todd.
What I find fascinating is how quickly this George Stephanopoulos comment will be turned into a campaign ad by President Trump. But looking forward, unless it's Morning Joe, do you see President Biden, in light of this admission by George Stephanopoulos, sitting down for any more interviews, even with an interviewer as Democrat-friendly as George Stephanopoulos, for the next 4 months?
Well, he's having a press conference tomorrow. I believe that's still on. So that is going to be a real test because that's a bunch of different reporters and not the friendly confines like he's used to outside of, a Peter Doocy or a Jackie Heinrich. I mean, what we've seen with Karine Jean-Pierre lately during those press briefings, Joe Biden's going to get a taste of that. And we see what happens when he's asked questions like this. He gets angry, he gets defensive, he gets loud. And again, he can't talk about any of the things he wants to talk about as far as his campaign is concerned or to take shots as Trump because he has to defend himself around his mental and physical health. So, yeah, tomorrow is a very big day for Joe Biden. And if that goes poorly, then I don't see how this campaign goes forward. But he's been so defiant. He says he's not going anywhere. And a lot of Democrats seem to be supporting him in that regard.
Well, Joe, you mentioned those press briefings. Since the debate, they've become a bit of a blood sport. And as an example of that, here is a CNN reporter asking Karine Jean-Pierre if she wants to revise any of her past statements about the president's health. Watch this.
Have the last 12 days made you reconsider any specific statements that you might have made in recent months?
If I have, misled in something that I've said or haven't had the full information, I actually own up to that.
Yeah, and then the reporter goes on to mention the time that the president called a congresswoman onto the stage who had just passed away, and the excuse given was that that congresswoman was top of mind for the president.
Yeah, I mean, Carly, we've known ever since she stepped into this position that Karine Jean-Pierre is completely out of her depth as White House press secretary. She simply is not credible. She's not very articulate, and she always doesn't seem to be prepared for questions she absolutely should have known that were coming. Now, all of that said, it would be hard for any press secretary at this point to defend everything that has been happening lately, but Karine Jean-Pierre, along with Jen Psaki, along with Dr. Jill Biden, along with Hunter Biden, Ron Klain, anybody within the president's inner circle, they have been completely complicit in this cover-up. And if KJP wants to resolve or restore any shred of credibility that she had with the few reporters in that room that still may have it, she should come forward and either resign or give a better apology than that, because remember, she is the author of all those videos you're seeing of Joe Biden, audio, video. They're actually cheap fakes, and they're the result of edited and manipulated videos pushed by right-wing media. How's that narrative looking now, right?
Yeah, if it was a cheap fake during the debate, that was a 90-minute long.
One heck of a cheap fake.
I don't think that's a thing. Joe, thank you so much.
Joe.
Have a great day.
All right, guys. See you soon.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.